Now you need to be worried about your group of white friends that you grew up with. And am I saying every white person's like that? No, obviously not. Okay, but better be safe. This is gonna be a hot take, and it's either gonna get me canceled or people are gonna be like, "You're right." So here we go. I'm just gonna say it. Black people have got to stop hanging out with groups of white people. And I mean that. If you're gonna be the only black person in that group, go home. Go home. Because these days, you just can't trust white people anymore.
Lean in. Black people, white friends and family, I need you to lean in. Black people are not angry enough because we won't let them be. We have added so much criminalization and stigmatism to the expression of black anger. We are not letting them express how bad things actually are. When they express an appropriate response, we get uncomfortable, and white discomfort is unsafe. We hold so much systemic power that if anyone makes us uncomfortable, it is an unsafe environment for them. We have too much to answer for. I have too much to answer for. I knew police brutality was bad. I knew that. But I didn't make a post about it until Alex Preddy was murdered. I made a video about Trey Reed. But I believed it was like an isolated incident. I was shocked.
How scary and dangerous. This entire situation with that poor boy Nolan Wells who was found unalived, it just reminds me how scary and dangerous it can be to be the only black person in white spaces. I think back to my own childhood, and I had a best friend when I was growing up. I was in middle school. We'll just call her Sarah. She was white. And I remember multiple racist things that happened that still scar me to this day as being the only black kid around white people. Now, my parents told me about racism. I was very well aware, but we went to a predominantly white church. That's a story for another day. And let me just say, a lot of my friends were white girls, and I wanted to fit in so badly because those were the friends I had. And I wanted friends. And I'm also neurodivergent, so there were a lot of things that I just missed. And these girls were not my friend. They were not my friend. I don't even know why they invited me. So one example is I went to this sleepover. My friend Sarah, we'll call her Sarah, was having a sleepover. She had this giant house. She had a pool. And I remember begging my parents if I could go because my parents were not big on sleepovers. Like, we only did family sleepovers. We were not the kids sleeping over. And so they knew her parents. And so they were like, okay, you can go. And I was so excited. So picture this, it's me, only black girl, all white girls. We're in the basement getting ready to watch movies and have candy and all the things and stay up late, and we're getting our pajamas on. My mom had done this really cute hairstyle for my gorgeous 4C kinky, curly, coily hair. She did like cornrows in the front, and then the rest was just a puff. So it was like a very, very easy style to have. And so I was taking my puff out and getting ready to wrap my hair and put my scarf on. And I'm just in the corner, like, doing my thing. And all of a sudden I take my puff out, and we all know our hair grows to the sky. So when we take our hair out, it doesn't fall. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so I take my puff out, and it's just like there. And my friend Sarah looks over. She's like, oh my God, look at Brittany's hair. It's just like straight up. And everyone whips their head around and starts staring. And she just keeps going. She's like, oh my God, why does it do that? Da-da-da. And at the time, I was in middle school. I didn't have the discernment. I didn't have the confidence to be like, yeah, so what? This is how my hair is. This is what it does. Da-da-da. I was just like instantly put on guard. And so then I need to stop calling her my friend. She starts doing this. She starts being like, my hair doesn't do that. Can I get my hair to do that? My hair doesn't stay up. And so I just went to the bathroom and I cried, and I just like stayed in the bathroom for like 20 minutes, and I just felt so othered. But I never told my parents. I never told them about it because I knew that if I had told them, they would have been like, absolutely not. Another thing that happened when I was with the same friend, we all laid out at the pool, her pool, all day. I'll say this really quick before I leave for work. White people. The reason why this is happening is because you proved to other white people that you're okay with it. When you saw white people treat black people like this, you didn't say anything. When you saw white people treat the indigenous like this, you didn't say anything. When you saw white people treat Asians like this, you didn't say anything. When you saw white people treat Latinos like this, you didn't say anything. When you saw white people treat any other group of color like this, you didn't say anything. And in not saying anything, in not doing anything, in not correcting each other, in not holding each other accountable, you showed to your fellow white people who were doing these things that it was okay. It wasn't a deal breaker for you. that it didn't make them a bad person, that you would still be in community with these people despite that they were dehumanizing others. And now that it's happening to you, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But I don't understand how you can't believe it when you proved to your fellow white people that this type of behavior was.
All right, all praises to the Most High. I just want to say, black people don't understand. Our people don't understand who these people are. What she said is what happened, right? But she don't know why they are like that. Why they didn't go to each other and say, when they did, I'm going to show you why they all of a sudden it's okay. Now it's okay with the whole population of people. That's what she's trying to say. The reason why it's so open and it's so flagrant in your face. It's so the word I'm trying to say. It's so blatant in your face, and why they're doing it without being ashamed of their behavior is this is the reason. It's because of who they are. They are the devils on the earth. Now, our people, the humans on the earth, we don't realize that the Most High made a people and he commissioned them to be devils on the earth. And it bewilders us, it baffles us to think that the God that they described as a loving God that would not harm anybody, and they gave us that description of God, of the Most High Yahweh God. They gave us that description at the same time having the commission from the Most High God to be who they are, to be the demons who they are. Demon means the deceivers. Their job was to rule the earth and be the chastisers, not chastisers, but the punishers of all the other races. The Edomites, Psalms 83, along with the government of other nations, with the joining of other nations, it's just the Hamites and the Edomites. Put it like that. I know y'all don't want to believe it, but it's the Hamites and Esau's mulatto group of children, right? And that's all the other races that are in government today. And that's the Russians, that's all the 18 nations are against Israel. And they have a leader who are the border of wickedness, who are in charge of all the abominations that are done on the earth. But in order for them to do their job, because they are weak people, they are weak, but they had to portray themselves as the strongest people that God ordained, that the Most High God, the God of creation, ordained to be on earth, to be world leaders, moral, civic, godly people. They had to portray themselves as godly people in order for the world not to come together, for the Israelites to worship them and give them their allegiance as the people who made the law of the land. They had to be God's people because they could never walk among us safely because we are a stronger people. So they had to convince us that the law that they were using, the jurisdiction to hold us in captivity, economic and systemic captivity, systemic captivity, systemic slavery, to design everything and us to honor it, to subdue us, because we're stronger than them. They had to convince us that they are commissioned by God. Just like that demon those demons, when Jesus went to the tomb and that man was cutting himself in chains and cutting himself with rocks, and the demons in him had him cutting himself. And as soon as he seen Yahweh, which the world called Jesus, he said, I know who you are, you son of God, son of David, I know who you are. And he said, I adjure you by God, meaning I command you by the powers of God. The demons taking authority over Christ because they said, we adjure you by God, command you by God, that you torment us not. They know they have an appointed time. They know they have an appointed time. And what has happened now, I'm going to show you with scriptures. They know that their time has come to be revealed. They have been revealed. They've been uncovered. They have to take off the sheep clothing, which is religion, their religion. They have to take off the sheep's clothing, and they have to take off the norms of society, that they are human. They portrayed themselves as being human, cloaking themselves in religion and the rights of human rights, and leaders and governors of human rights, which they presided over that too. Human rights. They watched each other and they charged each other when they were moving beyond human rights, when they were treating people inhumane. They were the overseers of the judges of human rights. They did all of that to portray themselves as humans. And they taught their children to stay within these laws, godly laws, to appear godly, so they cloaked themselves as angels of light. That's what they did. They said that we are the people of God, and God commissioned us to hold the world under our jurisdiction. And he did. They couldn't have did it unless he did it, unless he permitted them to do it. But it was all for the sake of the Israelites, so that we would return to him. Through their afflictions shall they return to me. It was all in his plan, and it's in his plan. And now that they know that their time is up, and because they've been discovered, right? You say, well, 95% of that you talking is not scripture. I'm going to show you the scriptures. See, I read the Bible, so I can give. You got to go read it. You read it. I'm going to show you the scriptures and read it to you. But I get all this tough talk. You 95% of your conversation, and you supposed to read the Bible. Read the Bible. If you don't understand the Bible when you read it, what good is it telling you to read it? I've read it. I understand it. The Holy Spirit working in me has revealed and rightly divided in me. So I'm going to show you the scripture. I'm going to show you the Most High. He exposed these people a long time ago. Now let me show you.
Okay. The thing about it is that white people, you have an insatiable appetite for power, and you don't have a limit even with each other. And so it was always going to come to your doorstep. You were always going to get a turn. Right? You were always going to get a turn. You being white, however, just gave you the privilege of going last. You all keep saying...
I like what she said right here. They are the last nation to rule as the wicked. The last wicked nation to rule over the Israelites on this earth. They went last. I like what she's saying. I'm going to show you the scriptures. I don't know if I can get back to her. So let's listen to her all the way through. A little bit farther.
In these various comment sections that this is very reminiscent of 1940s, 1930s Germany. How many times do black people have to tell you that 1930s Germany got their playbook and was inspired by how this country was treating black Americans?
Okay. She's going off in another direction, but let me show you. Let's start here. Psalms 14:1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. The fool. We know who the fool is because he said there is no God. The wicket is the fool. The man, the devil, is the fool. The people that are commissioned by the spiritual demon Satan are the fools. The fool has said in his heart, in his mind, the heart is the mind. That thing pumping blood can't talk and can't think. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable work. There is none that do good. Now we all know who that is. And what the Most High is doing, I'll say in a minute. Well, what he's doing is forcing us to separate from these people. I'll leave that right there. Now, this is what they're thinking now, today. The reason why they're so blatantly out here destroying people, killing people. I'm not monetized. Why they are don't care that you know that they are the devils, because the Israelites have already exposed them. And to cloak themselves with that religion, that politics, that human, pretending they're human, pretending that that they believe in our God, is weighing them down. If they continue to be good, then we will be strong enough. We will be strong enough or come together. Our strength is in gathering. Y'all know that, don't you? Our strength is in gathering. That's why they separate us off, and it's at least 4 or 5, 6, 7 of them, a whole posse of them against 1 or 2 Israelites. When they attack us, they outnumber us 3 or 4 to 1. Right? There's no way you're going to get away. So, a fool has no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover himself. That last part. Their heart, their mind has to discover who they are. Why? Because they were taught, their nation, they dociled their nation too with the cloak of religion. They dialed down who they really are, the wicked. They do abominable things. They do it undercover. And their children need to know why they are being called the devils on the earth. Because they are the devils. They came from devils. They are the deceivers. They set up a whole system to deceive the children of God, the Israelites. And so they have to step wholly, fully into their role in order to, like Netanyahu said, they think they can beat the Son of God. They can beat God if he don't have anybody down here to do his bidding. So their plan is to put us back into subjection, because they were doing fine by eliminating our godly conscience out of our children. And they'll use anything they can use. Fear. They'll use anything. They'll brainwash you with gifts. Look at all of our entertainers and our rich people who have gotten rich in this kingdom. It's not for their good, it's for their destruction. Our black people, so-called black people, our Israelites who've gotten rich in this kingdom, they're going to fall with this kingdom because they can't shake it loose. They can't give it back. they got to pay the piper. They got to fall with Babylon. They're not going to be able to give it back, or, because in their hearts, they can't give it back. Where would they go? They got to pay the piper. But what they're doing here, again, they are discovering who they are in their mind. They are discovering again that they are the wicked and they can do abominable things. They are training, started like training the little dragons to become conscienceless, no conscience. By getting them on the battlefield, getting them on the battlefield while they're young, to desensitize them, and they have to do a fast work of it because time is moving so fast. And so they have to make little warriors, little wicked warriors out of them in a short time. But they're not going to be able to beat God because God already has them timed out. He got them timed out. He controls the time. He controls the pace. They don't set their own pace. God controls the pace of the prophecies, of everything. When he bring an end to them, they'll look like they're running 100 miles an hour, like they're accomplishing their goal, but they'll be running in slow motion. And you'll see them running in slow motion. Why? Because we see the prophecy. We're way ahead of them. We can see them coming. It's our people who don't believe in the prophecies and don't believe in the Most High God is being falling to as prey to the wicked. But they are being revealed is them being revealed is revelation knowledge to the people, to our nation. God revealing them is a warning to the nation of Israel to stay away from these people. He even has them saying, you need to stay away from us. So that's what's happening. They are discovering who they are, and they are like babes in water. They're like in fresh water, fish in fresh water.
And she was the only person of color amongst her friends. She was a wife. Tamla Horsford was at a birthday party, and she was the only person of color amongst her friends. She was a wife and a mother of 5, and she was found dead in her friend's front yard. Her friends told law enforcement that she fell off of the balcony, presumably drunk, and just died. The friends were never...
It wasn't maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that we were just talking about DeVorest Carter. He was a disabled child, soon to graduate, went on a field trip with his school. Although it was 6 students and 6 teacher, DeVorest Carter went missing. They found his body in the Pacific Ocean. At the time, I was saying that I never allow my kids to go on anybody's field trip, any party that requires them to be by any body of water. I don't give a damn who's there. If I'm not there... Why did you hurt my son?
New video appears to show Nolan Wells arguing with the friends he was with before they reached the island. And now the biggest question is why he did not have his phone. The 18-year-old went...
Do y'all know how many times I've been the only black friend, bruh? Since elementary school. I was living a whole ass Sunny D Light commercial. You remember them Sunny D commercials from the 90s? Where all these kids would be running to the refrigerator and there would be one black friend. I'm him. We left Park Hill, ended up on the south side over by Glendale and Virginia Village. And guess what? Only black friend at the rec center, the swimming pool, playing football. I bet you Nolan Wells had a similar biography. Our problem as a culture is supposed to be black on black violence, right? It's supposed to be ghetto hood culture. So what's up with this? I know rest in peace message from the homies. How come they all went dark on social media? I bet you that neighborhood wasn't influenced by gangster rap music and fatherlessness. In fact, who are their fathers and what are they into on the low-ski? Gotta wonder. You know, I got a liberal white friend of mine who said that when he was just a little kid, he was rummaging around his attic and he found a chest and he opened it. It ended up being his grandfather's Klan outfit. He had no idea. Consider the fact that the old Klan outfit was not discarded, burned, or destroyed. It was kept folded neatly in a chest and stored in an attic. It really makes me wonder, as that token black friend, how many white children I played with who themselves didn't know that there was a Klan outfit nearby. And perhaps how many of them knew and just didn't tell me. Had a white buddy growing up. He decided to try the N-word out on me, and I socked him real hard. But it was a limit testing. I wonder what would happen had I not set that boundary. There was other black kids that I knew who grew up in the suburbs who felt isolated and not as grounded in their historical greatness, that didn't feel the agency to check anti-blackness in their presence. Now, of course, we don't know for sure if anti-black microaggressions were present in this friend group, but having the lived experience as somebody who has been moved from the hood to the burbs with a whole bunch of white friends, I highly doubt that they were absent. Either way, it looks like a macroaggression certainly did take place. They are not acting like people who genuinely are surprised at the loss of a dear friend. But what they are acting like is them folk from that movie Get Out. That movie hit a nerve with a whole lot of us. And the facts are is that this isn't the only case where the only black friend ended up dead or missing. I think it's time for us to have that conversation, even if it is just therapeutically necessary for us as.
Now, I remember when I was growing up in my 20s, I remember we were afraid. We were afraid to be at the parties, at the white folks' parties. But sometime 2 or 3 of us, we never went by ourselves, but 2 or 3 of us would go to a white party, but we were afraid as hell to be there. We were afraid as hell to be there because there has always been that rift between them and us. There's always been. So it's time to wake up. The Most High is dividing the nations again. And it's time for us to come back to our citizenship, our God, our nation, our King, and our laws. That's the only way we're going to be safe. We got to come back to the Most High God. That's the only way we're going to be safe. Now, I know people won't take heed right away, but it's going to happen. And that's what I've been pushing on this channel. Y'all know that's what I've been pushing, and y'all, ignored it. Don't wait until, gather now, don't wait until they got you surrounded to say, I should have stayed with my people. I should have gathered up with my people. We should have made it plain. We got to make it plain. The Most High is telling you the same thing I've been telling you. You got to make it plain that we are not with you people no more. We're going to separate and put our nation together whether y'all like it or not. We're going to separate from your jurisdiction and put our people together whether you like it or not. We can't be afraid no more. Over the last 4 or 5 years, that's all I've been doing is saying, hey, y'all, we got to gather together. We can't be scared. We got to take our sovereignty back. We can't be scared. And I knew this was going to happen. Y'all kept saying, no, the Most High going to come back and he going to come back and gather us up. He going to come back, those nukes going to hit and all of that. No. Second Ezra, almost a lot of the camps are teaching. Now you got to go through Second Ezra 15 first. They're going to cut all your resources off. No worry though. The Most High will take care of his. The Most High is putting plagues on them right now. You see what just happened to China in the last 2 or 3 days. You see what's happening all around the world to them. The plagues are on them. We're scattered all over the world, and where they are, where we are, those plagues are hitting them. Where they have no more power to hold their own establishment, their own habitation together. They don't know how they're going to live. So they don't have time to come over in our communities and stop us, because they're fending, they're running around here trying to figure out how they're going to eat. And the governments are treating the people the same way everywhere this disaster and these plagues are hitting. But it's going to hit the government, the people. That's coming too. The Most High is going to bring these governments down. Esau's kingdom, the government is falling. It's going to fall. It's falling. It's falling. Their weaponry, their power over the people is next. Now we see we can't unite with them, right? Now mark my words, mark the words of the Bible. They're going to disregard these governments, and the government is going to have to run underground to survive. These few little demons that think they in power, they're going to have to run underground and hide, because the people going to raise up all over the earth and take down the governments. It's going to happen before the nukes hit. Before the nukes hit. Before Christ come back, it's going to be like the book of Eli. Like the book of Eli. It's right there in 2nd Ezra 15. Read it. 14, 15, 16. Read it. Read all through there. We're going to be fighting each other for food. The family's going to turn against family, friends against friends. Ain't going to have to worry about no government or white people. They're going to have to run. They're going to have to run. Every nation's going to have to run to gather up to stay alive, because one nation is going to fight against another nation. And that's what the Most High want. He want that. So if you're getting caught behind the enemy lines, he said that too. He said if you get caught united with them, in contract with them, then he's going to have them run the sword through you. That's Bible prophecy. But our strength is in numbers, and he's bringing us back. He's forcing us to come back to our sovereignty so he can raise us up as a nation. Stop listening to these camps, and I think they're trying to stop saying it when they say we got to follow the law of the land. They're giving those people, they're still worshiping these nations when they say that. We follow the law of the land. No, the Most High is separating us, and the only way we're going to know he's working for us is if we separate from them, make a public announcement. Every black person together, it's going to be obvious, like it is now. We are not with you. We cannot unite with y'all again. This is beautiful. Not to see the people be deleted and stuff, but for our people to say we are unsafe around them people, and regardless of, because they're taking all the resources. We ain't got nothing. We got to depend on the Most High. We ain't got to worry about them coming and take our houses and stuff when we gather together. Those plagues are going to be hitting them so hard. They're going to be so weak and hungry, they're not going to be able to run back over here amongst the people who are sealed by the angels in their foreheads, have the Most High seal on them. He's not going to let them come and attack and take us. No more of that. That's over. Only the wicked of our nations are going to be feel the hurt of these plagues and this Jacob's trouble. He commanded the angels not to harm us with the plagues. So, all praises to the Most High, and go listen to this brother. He makes good sense here. All praises to the Most High.